right, you know what time it is. Live from the Bare Muscle Garage. It's time for Fit Crew. What do we got in store for you today? Let's go ahead and share this on screen. So today we've got a bare muscle speed battle for you here. What does that mean? Well, every 4 minutes for 5 rounds, we're going to be doing 15 bike calories, 10 push presses, and then 5 burpee box get overs. And then we're resting until the next 4 minutes starts. We're going to be repeating that work every 4 minutes for 5 rounds. We may be looking at this thinking, man, I don't even have a bike and the burpee box get overs seem kind of intimidating to me. Don't worry, guys. As always, we're going to warm up really well. And we're going to go through all of the options that will allow you to do this workout or your version of it right where you are, using what you have and doing what you can. But let's go ahead and start this general warm-up, which is going to activate the muscles that we are using in today's workout. So the first move we are doing is reverse plank ups. And let's go ahead and have Twin 1 demonstrate 2 reverse plank ups for us. And if we're doing this from the seated position, then those reverse plank ups are going to look like this. So let's everyone join in here and let's do 10 reverse plank ups together. Now it could be that this is a bit hard on the wrist for some of us, in which case we may choose to do glute bridges instead. Let's have Twin 1 demonstrate here. That's where we're laying on our back, got the feet pulled in close, and then we're going to squeeze those glutes and get the hips nice and high, getting higher and higher every single time. But if we are doing the reverse plank up as prescribed, we've got those hands to our side, legs straight out in front of us, squeezing those glutes, getting the hips as high as we can, getting higher and higher each rep. So good job on these reverse plank ups. Next, we're going to roll over and hit some stepping mountain climbers. Let's go ahead and have Twin 1 demonstrate 2 stepping mountain climbers on each side. And if we were doing this from the seated position, then those stepping mountain climbers are going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 mountain climbers on each side. Now it could be that doing this off the ground is a bit hard on that wrist, in which case we may do this off of the incline, just like we see Millicent doing here. It could be off a counter, could be off a sofa, or even off the wall, but we'll be in an incline plank, getting the knees to those elbows, going back and forth like this. But if we're doing this off the ground as prescribed, we're in a nice low plank, taking a nice big step forward, slightly to the side, getting the feet outside the hands, keeping those hips low throughout the motion. So good job here on the stepping mountain climbers. Next, we've got some plank shoulder taps. Let's go ahead and have Twin 1 demonstrate 2 plank shoulder taps on each side. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then those plank shoulder taps are going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 plank shoulder taps on each side. It could be that doing this off the ground is a bit hard on those wrists. So just like those mountain climbers, we could also do this off of an incline, just like we see Millicent doing here. We're in a nice incline plank, shifting the weight, tapping the opposite side. But if we are doing this off the ground as prescribed, then we have the chest and hips square with the ground. We are shifting that weight, tapping the opposite side, going back and forth like this. So good job here on these plank shoulder taps. Next, we've got some lunges, and let's go ahead and have twin one demonstrate 2 lunges for us. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then the lunges are going to look like this. So let's all join in and let's do 10 lunges on each side. Now, it could be that getting that knee all the way to the ground is a bit of a challenge, in which case we got some options for you. We can do some step ups, just like we see Millicent doing here. We can get a low footstool or a step ladder or a plyo box, but whatever the case, something at a comfortably low height for now in the warm up. We're going to alternate that step up leg going back and forth like this. Or perhaps we could do some assisted lunges. Let's have twin one demonstrate here. We can hold on to a nearby object, a sturdy object for assistance. And we're going to take a nice big step forward until that trailing knee touches the ground, holding on to that object as much as needed for assistance. But if we're doing the lunges as prescribed, we're taking a nice big step forward slightly to the side for stability until that back knee touches the ground, preferably over some type of protective surface, whether we're wearing knee pads or we've got a softer surface like we see twin one doing here. If we're not able to get that knee to the ground, then let's use some assistance or modify to the step up. So good job on these lunges. Next, we're going to grab a broomstick or a mop or a PVC pipe. We want nothing heavier than a broomstick for now. We always start light before we go heavy. Plus, we're going to do some additional shoulder mobility here. So with this broomstick in hand, we're going to do some pass-throughs. And let's go ahead and have twin one demonstrate 2 pass-throughs for us. And if we're doing this from the seated position, then the pass-throughs are going to look like this. So let's all join in here and let's do 10 pass-throughs together. So on these pass-throughs, we have a nice wide grip on that broomstick, and we're going to pull it up and over all the way around, touching that lower back in the back, belly button in the front. And Millicent knows the secret to a good pass-through, which is the smile, which relaxes those muscles and helps us to have a nice fluid range of motion. So good job here on the pass-throughs. And then finally here in the activation phase, we've got some strict press. Let's go ahead and have twin one demonstrate 2 reps of the strict press for us. And if we're doing this from the seated position, then the strict press is going to look like this. So let's all join in here and let's do 10 reps of the strict press together. So on this strict press, we've got those hands right outside the shoulders, elbows pointing forward and up. And we're going to take a deep breath in to brace that core as we press that broomstick up and back, getting the biceps into the ear at the top of the motion, and then getting those elbows pointing forward and up at the bottom in the rack position every single rep. So good job here on the strict press. Well, that is it for the activation phase. Now we're going to move on to the movement prep, which is where we're going to practice specifically the 3 moves that we are doing in today's workout. The first move that we're doing is the bike. So if we happen to have some type of exercise bike, I'd like you to hop on that bike. If it happens to have some level of resistance, I want you to put that all the way down for the warm-up for now. And we're going to do a 1-minute test here just to see how many calories or whatever other output that we get. But most of us don't have these machines. We're actually going to do a body weight modification involving mountain climbers and plank shoulder taps. And let's go ahead and have Twin One demonstrate 2 calories on our body weight bike. That is 1. That is 2. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then each bike calorie is going to look like this. That is 1. That is 2. So if we haven't done so yet, let's all join in. Let's do 5 calories on our body weight bike. Now, if we were modifying those mountain climbers and plank shoulder taps in the warm-up, we can continue to do that here. Let's have Twin One demonstrate. We can do incline mountain climbers and plank shoulder taps, getting into a nice incline plank position, getting those knees to elbow, and then following by the tap. Boom, boom. That is 1 incline calorie. That is the second incline calorie. But if we're doing this off the ground as prescribed, notice how Twin One jumps for joy at these body weight bike calories, jumping out these mountain climbers. And we want to jump as much as our circumstances allow, remembering that we can step these out as needed to regulate our heart rate, or if we just need to manage that impact. So good job here on the body weight bike, whichever version is better for you. The second move that we are doing today is the push press. So let's grab that broomstick and let's look on as Twin One demonstrates 2 reps of the push press for us. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then the push press is going to look like this. So let's all join in here and let's do 10 reps of the push press together. So on the push press, we are going to start in the same way as that strict press. Hands right outside the shoulders, feet underneath the hips. But then we're going to initiate by bending the hips and the knees, getting a little dip going on, and then driving with those legs before pressing that up and back, getting the biceps into the ear. So we're just getting a little bit of help from the hips and the legs, which is going to be slightly more efficient way to get that load overhead. So good job here on the push press. The third move that we're doing today is the Burpee Box Get Over, which is a mouthful, but let me go ahead and demonstrate 2 practice reps of the Burpee Box Get Over for us. That was 1. That was 2. And if we are doing this from the seated position, I would like us to grab 2 light dumbbells, placing them on the ground if possible. And the seated variation is going to look like this. That was 1. That was 2. So let's all join in here and let's do 5 practice reps of the Burpee Box Get Over. Now, I realize there's definitely going to be a certain amount of setup and perhaps some modification involved. But the idea here is that we're looking for something a little bit higher or just a little bit more of an obstacle than we're used to on these box get overs. And so notice how twin 1 is hitting a burpee and then climbing over 2 chairs, not just 1. And yes, I very much do encourage us to use those hands on these get overs. So if you have something just a little higher or a little longer than normal, that is the idea there. Now, if the burpee is a very challenging motion for us, then perhaps we can do some form of an incline burpee if we're close to where we're set up. And let's have twin 1 demonstrate an incline burpee here. You're going to start with your feet up against an inclined surface. Then you're going to take a couple steps back and then a couple steps forward. And then you clap overhead before hitting your step up or step over. Let's have Millicent demonstrate a couple step overs here. Just using the low right now. I know you're going to get after it in the workout, Millicent, but let's just show the low step up just for demonstration purposes. We can hit some form of an incline burpee followed by a step up if our circumstances allow. So the idea is to use what we have and do what we can. And whatever we have set up there, so we have Millicent set up with the 2 chair set up over there, and she's definitely going to get after it in today's workout. And let's remember that we can mix and match options as needed. But a couple key things here, guys. Safety is always number 1. Let's make sure our setup is sturdy and secure, as in it is not going to move when we climb up on it. So it is safely secured and stable, and that we feel comfortable with the height of it as well. And if the burpee portion is just a bit too cumbersome, then we can simply do some step ups, 5 of those without any form of a burpee as well. Let's have Millicent remind us one more time what the step ups look like. We're going to get both feet up, both feet down. And if that is enough for us for today, once we get to that point, then that is perfectly fine. We can do these step ups without any form of a burpee. So good job here on these burpee box get overs or just step ups, whatever's better for us. Well, now it's ramp up time. If you've been earning badges and you'd like to add some weight to those push presses to do either the scaled, intermediate, or RX weight, then let's start to gradually add some weight, doing about 5 to 7 practice reps of those push presses, adding a little bit of weight each time until we get to the weight that we want to use for the workout. But if we have not been earning badges or we're just getting back into this after a long time off, then please, let's not add any weight. That super light weight that we were just using in the warm-up is going to be more than enough for us today. It's very important that we have the right form and consistency before we've earned the right to add or reintroduce intensity. But whether we're adding weight or not, let's pay close attention to the following checklist. Number 1, please make sure your device is fully charged or plugged in so we can get through this whole workout without losing you. Number 2, let's grab some water. Let's take a sip. And let's make sure we got our water nearby so we can take a sip as needed all throughout the workout. Number 3, I'm going to give everyone a 3, 2, 1, go. countdown. That's how you can synchronize your timer with mine if you choose to use one. Number 4, music. Super important. We've got 5 rounds popping off every 4 minutes. We want at least 5 motivational jams or more to keep us focused all throughout. So what's on your playlist? You can blast your music as loud as you want, as long as you can still hear me helping you throughout the workout. And lastly, how are we keeping track of these rounds? Very interesting format we've got going on today with our speed battle. We're actually getting a collection of 5 different times. And we're looking to keep these times within a couple seconds of each other throughout the rounds. How will we know if we're achieving this? Only if we are teacher's pets and we came prepared with the workout written down, what we're doing, what's coming up next, and some type of scorecard to keep track of that progress. So if you're a teacher's pet, let's show that whiteboard on screen just to show how prepared you are. Teacher's pet picture in 3, 2, 1. Awesome. I'm going to bring the workout back on screen one more time, and then we'll get going. So in just about a minute, we're going to start this speed battle, which is every 4 minutes for 5 rounds, 15 bike calories, 10 push presses, and then 5 burpee box get overs. Now, most of us, for the bike, we're going to be doing the 15 mountain climbers and plank shoulder taps at the start of each round. If we do happen to have some type of bike, then it could be that we need to scale the number of calories in order to hit the target window. We are looking for that bike to take us somewhere around less than a minute in each, especially at the beginning there. Definitely less than 90 seconds. So whatever we got on that 1 minute test that we did, maybe we add a calorie or 2 to that and we stick with that number. And that's going to be a good number for us to use for our calories at the start of each of the 5 rounds. On the push presses, we're not adding weight unless we've been earning badges. If we have been earning badges, we are looking for a weight that we can do all 10 reps without putting the bar down and without stopping too much in between, but still a challenging 10 there. And then for the burpee box get overs, let's make sure that we have a setup that's appropriately challenging, but safe and sturdy and appropriate for our circumstances. If we're doing the burpee, let's do the burpee, the version of the burpee that's good for us, whether we're getting all the way down or we're doing some incline burpee or something in between. On the get over, let's use a height that's maybe a little higher or a little longer than we're used to, but still something that we feel comfortable with. So your score is going to be the time of each round. Every 4 minutes for 5 rounds, we are doing the 15 mountain climber plank shoulder taps, the 10 push presses, and then the 5 burpee box get overs, resting until the next 4 minutes starts. If you are good to go, give me a thumbs up here and we'll get this started. I'm going to give us a 10-second countdown, and then I'm going to highlight twin 1 to get us going. So here we go. Every 4 minutes for 5 rounds. 15 mountain climber plank shoulder taps. 10 push presses. 5 burpee box get overs or step ups if that's better for us. Starting in 10 seconds. Let's get ready. 3, 2, 1, go. And we are off on these mountain climber plank shoulder taps. And we've got Twin One jumping these out. We've got Mighty Mouse doing the roll version back and forth. But we are starting this round strong, hopefully getting through these 15, somewhere between 45-ish seconds to a minute. Then we're going to approach that bar and go to town on those push presses. So good work here, guys. Breathing, pushing, getting through this bike. The 15 calories, each set of mountain climber plank shoulder taps counting as a calorie. And right on cue, there goes Twin One, getting to that bar, cleaning that into the rack position. Boom, and then going for those push presses. Deep breath, drive, and push. We got Mighty Mouse as well on these push presses. Dip, drive, and push. And Millicent as well on these push presses. Bending the hips and the knees, driving the head through, getting those arms back. And then after all 10, boom, just like that, Twin One, putting that bar down, and then getting on these Burpee Box Get Overs. So getting down, getting up, getting over. Millicent as well on these Burpee Box Get Overs. Changing the setup for higher stability. And we've got Mighty Mouse with the personalized options on these Burpee Box Get Overs. And we've got Twin One across the line. Almost there. Boom, Twin One across the line. Millicent across the line almost. Mighty Mouse across the line. Well, that was an exciting first of 5 rounds here. And let's check in with Mighty Mouse. 1 round done, 4 to go. How are we feeling after that first round, Mighty Mouse?
It's going good so far. It's paced myself and looking forward to the other rounds.
And that is the key right there. Spoken like a true veteran of the program. We gotta pace this race. This is a 5-round workout. We're starting the next round in just over 30 seconds here. And so we're gonna have Mighty Mouse kick us off for round 2. Let's get ready to go here. Getting the game face on, getting ready to go. Twin One with the game face on. Millicent with the game face on. Starting the next round in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Round 2. All the way down, all the way back. Mighty Mouse goes. And we've got Millicent on this incline bike. And Twin One blasting through these. But so far, everyone has hit the target window. And the target windows are designed to help us pick the right choices in weights and in movement options. As we earn badges, we start to add some weights and do some movement options. And how do we know we picked the right ones? Well, we want to pick the weights and the movement options that allow us to finish within the target window of time. Not too much over, not too much under, but right in that sweet spot. That's how we know we've gotten the appropriate challenge. Right on time. We are, most of us, getting into these push presses. Getting a little drive with the hips. Getting the hips and the knees. Driving with those legs. And then boom, that was a quick 10 for Millicent. Now on to these burpee get overs. Much more stable setup. Mighty Mouse on this hybrid option. A testament to dedication, discipline, and consistency. Twin one on these Burpee Box Get Overs. Down, up, over, down, up, over. And just like that, Millicent across the finish line. Mighty Mouse across the finish line. Twin one across the finish line. 2 rounds down, 3 to go. Let's check in with Millicent. How are we feeling after these first 2 rounds? And what are you expecting out of the next 3?
Well, these 2 rounds it's nice. I'm beginning to bust out a good sweat, so I had to turn my fan on to help me out. But hopefully it's not too difficult. So hopefully in the next couple of rounds that we finish up with, I hope to be able to do it without any problems.
And I will take that sweat as a compliment. But yes, you are picking options that are definitely appropriately challenging for you. And I love the setup that you got going on there, getting after those climb overs. Love to see it. Well, we've got just about 30 seconds before we are going into round 3 here. And we're actually going to have Millicent kick us off. So let's get ready. Let's get our game face on. Mighty Mouse with the game face on. Twin one with the game face on. But we are starting in just about 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Round 3. We've got Millicent on this bike. Mighty Mouse on this bike. And Twin one jumping for joy on this bike. So far, everyone has been nailing the target window. Not too much over, not too much under, right in that sweet spot. That means we're picking the right weights, we're doing the right moves for us. Getting through this bike in just about the appropriate amount of time. And there goes Twin one with the fastest split time so far on that bike. Mighty Mouse as well. Getting to that bar, Millicent getting to that bar. But cleaning that bar up into the rack and then boom, hitting that dip, pop and punch, dip, pop and punch. And so far, everyone has been holding on all 10 reps. A challenging but unbroken weight. That's what we've been doing here. But nice work here. And there goes Millicent. Boom. Done with those 10. About to get these get overs. Mighty Mouse on those get overs. Twin one. About to get these get overs. So notice Twin one now using the step method on the burpee. Very smart way to regulate that heart rate. Even if you decide to jump back and then step out, that's a good balance between speed, but then regulating that heart rate. But nice work here. Getting down, getting up, getting over. Millicent across the finish line. Mighty Mouse across the finish line. Twin one across the finish line. Well, great work here. We are over the hump. 3 rounds in, 2 to go. Let's check in with Twin one. How's this going for you so far after 3 rounds? What are you expecting out of the next 2?
So far it's going good. Just trying to breathe and push through, breathe and push through. These next 2 rounds I expect to be a little harder. So I just gotta push through, focus, and keep going.
That's exactly it, especially going into round 4, which is what I like to call the focus round. This is the round out of a 5-round workout where we're really starting to feel that fatigue. We're starting to feel sorry for ourselves. It's easy to let it slip just a little bit, but no, we want a nice strong 4 and then finish with a blast 5. So while we're not trying to be a hero or anything, let's keep it at least within a couple seconds of each other. And we're going to start this in just about 15 seconds. We'll have Twin one kick us off here. Game face on. Let's get ready to go. 10 seconds. Round 4 starting in 3, 2, 1. Round 4, let's go. On these 15 mountain climber plank shoulder taps. Or whatever version of the bike we are doing that's good for us. Let's hit this bike. Getting after it. Staying strong. We're going to save the blast for last, but we're staying strong through the 4. But nice work here. Let's go. Let's go. And Mighty Mouse done with that bike. Moving on to that push press. Twin one. Getting up, getting ready to hit that push press. And then we've got Millicent just about to grab that bar for the push press. So let's breathe, let's push, let's hit that little dip, drive, press it back, locking it out. Nice work here. Let's go, let's go, let's go. All 10 push press, Mighty Mouse. Now on to these Burpee Box Get Overs. Last one for Millicent. Twin one. Just about there. About to get these Burpee Box Get Overs. So nice work here, guys. Mighty Mouse across the finish line. Millicent, just another couple ones left. Millicent across the finish line. Twin one. Across the finish line. Well, we are 4 rounds into this, guys. And yes, we are feeling it. We're going into the last round. Let's check in with Mighty Mouse. How have these 4 rounds gone for you? And what would you like to see for yourself in this last one?
So the round seemed like it getting more intense, but this last round, I'm gonna give it all I got, the last energy I got to push through it.
And that's all we can do, right, Mighty Mouse? Yes. We are going into this last round, blast round. So, ultimate game face. Let's get that nasal breathing. Feel the air go into the belly. We're going to kick off this last round here, and we're going to have Millicent kick it off for us. So 20 seconds. Last round, game face. Last round, game face. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. This is the last round, fast round. This is where we want to leave it all on the floor. This is the round that we're racing. Who's gonna take it? We're hitting this bike. We're moving with intensity. Doing our thing here, guys. Breathing, moving, getting through it. Twin one with the fastest bike so far. Millicent on that bar already. Mighty Mouse on that bar. Twin one about to clean that up and hit that bar as well. We are holding on to this thing here, guys. Mighty Mouse already done with that 10. Millicent, just a couple to go. And there goes Mighty Mouse about to hit these Burpee Box Get Overs. Millicent joining in as well. Twin one, just a couple push presses to go. And there goes Twin one. But Mighty Mouse, just a couple reps to go here. Millicent as well. Getting through this. Mighty Mouse across the finish line. Millicent across that finish line. And Twin one. Almost there, almost there. Twin one across that finish line. Well, that was crazy. Let's check in with Millicent now after that last round. How did those 5 rounds go for you? You know, we definitely had a different feel from the first to the last. How did that last one go for you, Millicent?
It was good. It made me want to compete and go a little faster. The fact that I could have the air on me, it kind of revitalized me. So I was able to add some weight to the last round because it wasn't as bad as, and I think after working out for the other ones, it allowed my arms to warm up a little bit or something. But I was able to add weight, and I'm really happy about that because I didn't think I could do it. But it was a good round, and I enjoyed it. I really love this workout, especially those get overs. So thank you, Coach.
And thank you, Millicent. I noticed that you added that weight as well. I was really happy to see you rise to that challenge, and you were making smart choices. You made the right weight choice of weight at the start, and like you yourself said, you felt more prepared as far as the upper body strength is concerned to add that weight as the later rounds go. For those who might still be working, you've got just about 10 more seconds here to get this done before we head into the best part of the workout. So move, 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 get through it. And 3, 2, 1. That was the last 4-minute interval. And now we're at the best part of the workout, which is the cool down stretch. And this stretch is super important to help us fight soreness, increase flexibility, so we can come back day after day, staying consistent and committed. So the first stretch we're gonna is the scorpion. That's gonna be where we're laying face down. We've got those arms out to the side, and we're gonna get the left foot going right, getting as close as we can to the right hand like this. And if we're doing this from the seated position, we're gonna get that right arm up and pull to the left like this. And while we're in this position, let's reflect on the workout. Let's do some high-low buffalo. So, high, what is one thing you feel you did well in the workout today? Low, what is something you want to do better the next time it shows up? And buffalo, what is something that surprised you about the workout today? While we're thinking about that, let's switch sides here on this scorpion. Now, we're going to get the other foot going as close as we can to that opposite hand. And while we're on this side, let's hear from Mighty Mouse. And if we're doing this from the seated position, we're getting the other arm up and pulling to the side like this. But what is your high-low buffalo, Mighty Mouse?
My high was the push press. I didn't have a low, but my buffalo was that Burpee Box Get Over after the last 2 rounds. I was getting kind of tired since I had to really focus and push myself because I had to transfer from turning my wheelchair to face it. So it took some time away. So I was trying to hurry up. But other than that, it was a good workout.
And I love that friendly competition, that drive you have. But you know what? It worked out. You still ended up just squeezing out the win almost every round there. Good job there, Mighty Mouse. Let's switch to the dragon. So we're gonna get into a nice long lunge position like this. If this is a bit hard on the knee, then no worries. We can do a single leg forward fold, reaching toward the one toe like this. And while we're doing this, let's hear from Twin One. And if we're doing this from the seated position, we're gonna twist toward the right, holding on to whatever we need to. But what is your high-low buffalo, Twin One?
My high were the Burpee Box Get Overs. The low was the push press. I was struggling a little bit. It's one of my weaknesses. The buffalo was pushing through the push press without dropping the bar because I really wanted to a couple of times. But I would just breathe through and push through to not have to put the bar down. And I was able to get through it.
I noticed that too. You held onto that bar. You had a very smart strategy of resting in the rack position. Not too long, but just long enough for you to regain that energy and not have to put it down and pick it back up, which was the goal. So good job, Twin One. And let's go ahead and hit dragon on the other side. So we're gonna get the other leg forward. And we've got the chest up, shoulders back like this. If that's hard on the knees, no worries. We could do a single leg forward fold like this. And while we're on this side, let's hear from Millicent. And if we're doing this from a seated position, we're twisting toward the left, holding on to whatever we need to. But what is your high-low buffalo, Millicent?
My high was the Burpee Box Get Overs. I especially liked the way that I had turned those chairs. It made it so much easier for me to do it. And I wasn't struggling. So I really enjoyed that. And then doing the burpee, the step back off the wall, that was really nice on each side. So that made me feel like I was a part of everything that was going on. And then I didn't really have a low. The only thing I would consider a low is that if I sweat, it's hard for me to concentrate. So by me having a fan, that helped me. And I got a lot of sweat out of this one, I tell you. And then I did appreciate being able to do the when I was doing the step backs for the forget what it was. The bike. Sorry, the bike. So doing it on the incline, it was nice. It wasn't super easy because I tried to stand back a little bit more so that it would be a little bit more challenging. So it was challenging. So overall, I got a big sweat out of this. So hopefully some good things is coming out of it. And then I felt like I got a little stronger in the end.
I can guarantee some great things are coming out of this, and appreciate you stepping just even a little outside your comfort zone a little bit at a time. So good job, Millicent. Well, that's our WOD, that's our stretch, that's our high-low buffalo. You know what's left, this sweaty selfie, because does it count if we don't take that selfie? Let's flex on the camera and let's take this selfie. Sweaty selfie in 3, 2, 1. And crazy face. And let's put the fist in the middle for the cheer. On 3, 2 claps. Fit crew. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Fit
Crew.
crew.
Fit crew.
Fit crew.
Thank you so much. If you enjoy this program, then please give this channel a subscribe, a like, and a share. Thank you very much, and see you next time.